Welcome to the Comments from the Peanut Gallery podcast. We're shortly removed from the NFL draft and the rookie free agent signing process, and I'd like to give a huge shout out to my pal, Coach Paul Andrada, down at Fast Pueblo down in Southern Colorado. Fast Pueblo specializes in functional athletic strength training and is an incredible resource for athletes and non-athletes alike to train and get themselves better. Coach Andrada has helped train athletes such as recent Washington Redskins undrafted free agent signee Ty McCauley, 2018 NCAA National Tournament qualifier Hunter Willits, and a variety of others. Coach Andrada has been involved in multiple state championship efforts on both the team and individual sports levels, where he's helped prep multiple levels of athletes move on to that next phase of their competition. Fast Pueblo has a stable of hungry athletes that put in the work and are just ready to get those personalized results. Check out Fast Pueblo in the Eagle Ridge Shopping Center on Pueblo's north side or give them a call at 719-214-9522 and get faster today. The Wolf is here. The Lone Wolf Beard Company is Colorado's premium beard company offering 100% all-natural products to bearded beasts of all different shapes and sizes. Pick up your original scented product now and stand out from the pack. Because hey, let's be honest, you weren't meant to be in a pack and you were brought in this world to stand out and leave a mark. So unleash the wolf within, howl at the moon, and conquer your goals. Leave a mark, be a wolf, and seize the day. That's the Lone Wolf Beard Company, Colorado's premium beard company offering 100% all-natural products. All right, everybody, welcome to the Comments from the Peanut Gallery podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Kurtz. I'm here with my man, Cortez Coleman, the crazy cowboy, coming straight out of Oklahoma right here. This last weekend, my man won gold medal at the IBJJF in Denver. How you doing, boss?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. I'm rocking. I'm alive. Can't complain, man. Just here at my academy enjoying life.
That's awesome, man. So for the people out there listening, where can they follow you?
Man, you can follow me at Crazy Cowboy MMA on Twitter, and then also you can check me out at Crazy Cowboy MMA on Instagram, and then of course my fan page, Cortez Coleman, and then Crazy Cowboy as well.
Perfect. And so you're obviously I saw your logo plug right there. You're at Conquer BJJ Martial Arts Academy. That's correct?
Yes, sir. Conquer BJJ Mixed Martial Arts Academy. That's my academy I own here in Ada, Oklahoma.
Nice. And so you run the full gambit of martial arts, services, classes, privates, all of that, correct?
Yes, sir. We have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Sandro Paio, which is an affiliate of Carlos Gracie. Jiu-Jitsu, and of course I'm affiliated with Mark Montoya, the best camp up there in Denver, Factory X.
Shout out to Factory X.
Yep. So then I also have judo here in my academy. My instructor's name Brent Rushton. He's a black belt in USA Judo, black belt instructor. So I got a full camp of everything mixed martial arts that a person will need.
That's incredible, man. Nice to have a one-stop shop right there in Oklahoma there for everybody out there listening. So tell me a little bit about how did you come to being at this established point, having your own academy? What was the story to get you here?
Man, it was all a story. It's all been a story, man. I tell people that every day, man. I wake up, my whole life has been a story from the beginning because, all this, I really, man, it was just guys, it was like Drake's song, it was guys playing, man, because I never planned on ever doing any of this. I started fighting back in 2008. I went professional then, never had an amateur career, nothing, I got kicked out of college and kind of got down the wrong road, man, and my professional was hustling, man, and that's all I knew. And like I said, I found MMA in 2008. I beat a case, a few years before that. I was facing like 22 years in prison, man.
Oh, wow.
And, so it was either finding some other way to use, my skills and my profession at, or not be able to see my kids, man. And I found jiu-jitsu and, started training and, it's just a long story, man. I got some guys that I actually started managing. I never planned on fighting. I got into this sport because I was in Buffalo Wild Wings one day and I was talking shit about the way Chuck Liddell was fighting back in the day, actually, and the way his hands would be out. And I was like, man, this guy's gonna get knocked out one day fighting like that. And this gentleman he was like introduced me to this sport and was like, he invited me over to the gym. Like, man, you can't be talking like that. It ain't that easy, So he kind of invited me to the gym, man, in 2008, and kind of that's when it got started. I visited a martial art academy in Norman, Oklahoma called Titans Martial Arts. I was about 274 pounds, fat as hell at the time, and I walked in there and was like, I want to do some jiu-jitsu. I want to fight. And a lot of guys kind of looked up and kind of laughed at me. A few of the guys in the back kind of laughed at me and smirked and stuff. The guy, told me, gave me all the information to sign up, whatnot, and the cost. I paid that up front, and I started training the next day in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, man. And I was getting tapped and beat up by 14-year-olds, man. Like grown brother off the streets getting tapped out by little kids, man, for like 2 months. And that shit I was like, wow, man. But I stuck with it, And, as months passed by, I started kicking those 14-year-olds' ass, man.
Okay.
And I got better, and I stuck with it. But still, like I said, I never knew that I was fighting, man. I grew up out in them streets, man, and that's the only thing I knew. So, that's how I knew how to get money, man. So I was still doing it. And I ended up meeting these kids, these two boys named Mike and Ken Jackson. And that's what kind of sparked it off, man, because I kind of, started talking to these guys. And I realized after talking to them, I kind of helped these two guys realize that they were getting screwed over for years, just getting fucked over by this academy owner who was managing them. And, they got screwed over, and their mom, who is now passed, rest in peace to her. She went up there and got on to that guy's ass, and that was it. So, of course, they had to get a new academy. So, for them, these guys been with him since they were little kids. At the time, they were, I believe, just now about to get their purple belts. They're now black belts now as we speaking. But I was like, man, I'll manage you guys. I didn't know nothing about MMA, nothing about jiu-jitsu. I just knew I always had a gift to talk to people. I knew business and I knew how to make money. So I took these guys, man, and I started managing these young boys, man, for years and hiring them boxing coaches, new jiu-jitsu teachers, took them to Vegas to get fights. I was just doing that for years. I moved them in with me. I started doing nutritionists for them. And, I'm learning all this stuff for them, and at the same time, I'm learning myself. And they would always, do jiu-jitsu in my house. We will blaze out, do jiu-jitsu at the house or something. So I was always training for years and years. And, one year my uncle was like, man, you're spending a lot of money on these brothers, man. And, it's all about you helping them out, but you need to find you another way out, man. You're going to end up getting caught up again. And that's when I was like, okay, man, I'll try it. So I found a promoter and talked the promoter into paying me $800 my first fight. I won in 16 seconds. And that's when I was like, man. I was like, okay, shit, $1,800, $1,600 that fast? I ain't got to worry about the feds, police, got to worry about getting shot no more. This might be something I can do. But still, I really, still didn't know if that's what I was going to do. And it just kept going from there. And then I took a second pro fight, and I lost, man. No training and really just jiu-jitsu, and that's when I got picked up by Mark Fiore, and Brian Foster was at the fight that night. And Mark Fiore asked me, what kind of background I got, and I told him the streets, man. And he was like, hey, the head coach up at Hit Squad at Matt Hughes in GM, Illinois, come here, man. I think I can make you a champ. And in 2008, man, that was history from there, man. A couple weeks later, I flew up to the Hit Squad, and it's just been a story. And, it's just been guys playing ever since then.
That's incredible, man. That's an amazing story that you got to that point. So you've been on some pretty big promotions, some pretty big cards through the time frame, Strikeforce, Bellator, so on and so forth. What did it mean for you, or where was that true moment where you really felt the the gratification of your efforts?
Man, it was when I fought in Strikeforce, man, and I was able to make a name and quit doing what I was doing for a living is what showed me that, man. And I felt like I made it. From where I come from, the family I come from, doing that, because it was never a dream. It was never a dream of mine, and it was all guys playing, and then I started making it a dream. But to be in the UFC, to go to Strikeforce, none of this was nothing that I ever dreamed of. And even when I got in it, I never thought about I want to be a world champ. I just wanted to do something better where I could be alive and be able to see my kids, So the day I got in Strikeforce, man, and training around Matt Hughes, and I was able to not have to go out in the street and hustle. That right there has made me feel the gratitude and feel like I made it.
Pretty good point to be at that. So you mentioned some of the who's who in the game out there as far as names from different camps, different associations. What is it like, what is it like to have been so well traveled within the different disciplines and to be able to learn from some of the best of the best?
Man, it's been a blessing, man. It has helped me. It has helped me with my journey through all this, with my academy, my skill set. It's been a blessing, man. I've been able to train my whole career. I've been surrounded with nothing but champions, nothing but good people, nothing but the best. Like I said, from Matt Hughes, Johnny Hendricks, Brian Foster, Robbie Lawler, just names and names, Christian Mosey, James Krause. Man, I'm just always surrounded by good guys. Cody Garbrandt, he before he was even the champ or amateur, he was with us up at the Hit Squad. He used to, hang out with us a lot, man. So I've been blessed being around a lot of different people, man. So it's been great for me, my career, and my resume.
It's great, man. I'm humbled by hearing some of the names that you're throwing out there. So with your career at this point, are you kind of specializing, or are you still taking whatever comes along? Are you going more so the jiu-jitsu route, or where are you at with your career?
Hey, man, right now, jiu-jitsu is kind of my focus right now. Just like I said, fighting was never a dream, and even when fighting on those big levels, it showed me. I fought some of the best guys out there, man. My fourth, fifth fight was Douglas Lehman, Right. I never had an amateur career. And like I said, fighting was never a goal, man. And when I got into big shows, I was never just hungry to stay there, Like I said, I literally really took it on and started doing it when I found out that I could make a living off of it and make a name to be able to teach others. And then, like I said, man, it was guys playing. My gift is to teach others, training kids. That's what I'm good at, motivating people. I do a lot of mental coaching, So fighting is just, never been a goal or I want to go to the UFC thing. I've been shot at guys, man. Like I said, I was facing, 22 years in prison. Most of them, 90% of my family's there. So, man, I made it right now. Like, I feel like I'm rich now because I don't got to wake up, bro, and worry about getting shot, worry about the feds. So fighting is not nothing to me. If a good fight come up and it's paying some money, cool. But Man, it was something I had to do before. I could make 5 or 6 grand and do something and live with my gym. I had to, but right now, man, I'm at the point where I'm making money off my gym. I got great sponsors bagging me to do jiu-jitsu, and I'm making money being able to live life, go to my kids' baseball game, not traveling a lot, because being in the UFC or those big shows and traveling, it takes a lot away from a man that really wants to be a family man. You still can be there with your kids, but I'm a country boy. I'm Southern, and I love being around my kids. So if a good fight come up, I'll take it. But, man, I really, fights, these promoters who want to pay you 25, 35, 35, man. My damn camps up in Denver cost, $5,000 to $6,000. So I'm at the point right now, fighting is something, if something comes up and they're paying, I'll do it. But, no, I'm not really worried about it. I love coaching. I love doing jiu-jitsu. And my focus is becoming a world champion in jiu-jitsu.
You're definitely well on the way. You won gold this last weekend in Denver. Tell me a little bit about that.
The goal in Denver was, I knew regardless, no matter how many people that was going to be in my division, I was going to win. I had a game plan, but it was great. I only had one guy in my division, and he was a strong guy, man. But like I said, I'm hell for anybody in the world for 5 minutes. And Denver, I just had to have a game plan because it's hard to breathe up there coming from where I'm coming from. So it was a great experience, but at the same time, I was fighting the attitude more than I was fighting my opponent.
You might have been fighting a little bit more. It was Denver on a 420 weekend, so it might have been a little bit of something else in the air too,
Yeah, it was a lot of shit in the air in Denver. It was 420. I'm fighting. There's a lot of shit in the air that day.
Yep, exactly. But so what's the next step as far as that goes? With you winning there, is that like a qualifying situation to where that advances you to a bigger tournament, or what? How does that work?
No, it gives me points, of course, but I just got to keep going. I plan on doing there's some coming more IBJJFs coming up before Worlds is in August. So I'm gonna do AGF. It's a tournament. Local tournament down in Dallas. Brendan Quick, he runs it. Awesome guy. He's the owner of AGF. So I'm gonna do that tournament coming up. I believe it's like 17 days from now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that, and then just try to stay busy. Worlds is August 22nd in Vegas through the 25th. So I'm gonna do that, man, and then I might be taking a boxing match. There's a guy down here in Oklahoma I've been wanting to fight for years named Milt Sanchez. I like to try to get that boxing match maybe around July in the summer as well. That's what I like to do. But for anything else, MMA goes, no, man, I'm not really worried about it. Like I said, they pay like shit here. We go out there and beat up people, and it's sad what we get paid, man. And I'm not really about it when I can make that money by helping others and keeping my body healthy. So right now I'm just focusing on jiu-jitsu, and I am going to be reaching out to that new promotion. I forgot the name. Well, I know my boy Chris Camozzi signed with them. They're over there in Russia, I believe.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard yet.
So I'm going to be reaching out to those guys pretty soon, and hopefully can try to get on some things there and make some money, man. I'm just not trying to I'm not trying to go in there and fight for nothing. If it ain't no $5,000 or more, it ain't really worth it what my training camps cost.
I mean, it makes sense, especially when you're the one who has to wear the physical punishment. At that point, might as well be getting paid handsomely for it.
Exactly.
So, just if you can sum it up, maybe in a brief statement, what is the biggest life lesson that MMA or jiu-jitsu, just the entire martial arts community, has taught you?
Life lesson, man. It's just it taught me, man, that no matter who you are, man, that you can change and become a better person, man. And this community of jiu-jitsu and martial arts welcome anyone, man. For anyone who wants to change, man, the community of jiu-jitsu and martial arts welcome anyone. And it can erase your past, man. A lot of people don't judge. As long as you ain't touching little boys and kids, you cool, man. In the jiu-jitsu world, you ain't doing none of that sick, nasty shit, raping women. Man, no matter what kind of background you come from, prison or whatnot, jiu-jitsu can change it, man, and the community will welcome you, man. And it can help a person become a better person, man. Look at me. I feel like I made a pretty good household name everywhere I go. In the United States, people, if they're MMA fans, they know who I am, and that alone make a brother feel good coming from where I come from, man. So, if anything, the MMA has taught me. It taught me that it's a humbling sport, and everyone welcome you, and it's a sport that can help anybody fight through any kind of situation.
Pretty good life lesson right there for everybody out there listening. So, the Crazy Cowboy, how did you come up with that nickname, or how did you get that nickname?
The Crazy Cowboy. Okay. So, I used to go by, Hollywood Cole. My street boys gave me that name. And, so when I went to the Ultimate Fighter, I'm from Oklahoma. I moved back to Sulphur, Oklahoma about 5 years ago. And, kind of got back to my country roots, man. Hanging around a lot of my country boys, Shane Brown, Rigdon, Trey Craig, a lot of those country boys, man, and kind of get back to my roots, man. So when I went out to the Ultimate Fighter, I had on some, like, pink cowboy boots, jeans tucked in, how we roll down here. And that's how I rocked, around when I was out there trying out. And, Dana White must have heard me about me while watching me fight or something, because if you watch on YouTube, when I was walking out to fight in a cage, which, by the way, when I tried out for that show, I cut 56 pounds in 6 weeks for that.
Holy shit, that's a lot of fucking weight.
It was crazy, man. I was fucking, I swear, I looked like I smoked all the crack in Hall. I did that, and I knew when I went out there, I would have to go out there and try to finish this guy. But anyway, walking out to the cage, Dana White was like, I'm very excited to watch this kid, Crazy Cowboy, fight. The kids, he's a strapper. I'm interested to watch Crazy Cowboy fight. Well, after that show, things didn't go my way, but a lot of people watched who I was. And I had like a little watch party of that at a bar. And I heard that, and I was like, Crazy Cowboy, me and a couple buddies, like I said, man, I'm a hustler, money maker, and I was like, Crazy Cowboy. Cortez, Dana White said it? Dana White, the most powerful man in the sport? That's my new name.
Yep. Well, hey, that's good if it's coming from the top dog.
It coming from the top dog, so I got that from this show when he said Crazy Cowboy. That wasn't my name. So Dana White gave me a big shout out to D. White. That's my dude. He probably don't even know that, so maybe he'll hear that and let him know. He the one created the Crazy Cowboy, and I'm doing great things with it.
That's awesome, man. Hopefully for my sake, Dana White hears this. So, I can only hope for that.
For sure. Peanut Gallery Podcast. Mess with it.
Yep, exactly. So I see some of your posts out there. You obviously, you're pretty tight with some of the other Denver pro athletes out there. Seeing you reffing the Defu out there. Shout out to Derek Wolf.
Derek Wolf, yeah, I mess with them, man. Don't ever fuck with us.
Yep.
And that's the crew, man. I rock with Denver. It's my second home, man. I love it. I had a great blast. I brought some of my students up there this weekend to meet Mark Matoya Jordan, so my guy Tommy Schultz, he got to come up there. He's one of my up-and-coming blue belt guys. They got to come to Denver. They loved it. G-Off. I brought a lot of guys up there in Denver, man, this weekend, and they loved it. Yeah, so Factory X my home. Jordan, I see he rocking your shirt. I see he's you one of his newest sponsors. So I peep game. Yeah, I mess with Factory X. It's a bust. I saw you over at Lauren Landolph, Landolph Performance, best facility in Denver. So yeah, we rock with the same people.
Trying to hustle as much as possible, man. Just trying to make a name.
Got to, brother.
Yes, sir. I'm working with Yusuf for his next fight too on the LFA card. So be on the lookout for that. We should be in the mix for everything involved with that promotions.
Okay, that's great, man. Yeah, man. I got a few fighters down here, man, and So any way I can help you out to get out there, I rep the peanut all day, baby.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'll make sure I definitely send you out some gear. Get you. I know appreciate you liking the hat. Get you some stuff sent out there. And then, like I say, any of your fighters, anybody that you have out there, anybody ever wants some promo time, any of that, I'll be glad to have them on, and we'll be glad to set it off just like we're doing right now.
Definitely, I would definitely do that. I would definitely love to do that, man.
Yeah, man. So I just want to ask you, kind of a few rapid fire questions. Might catch you a little bit off guard, so don't be afraid to take a second to answer. But if you had to say, who's your favorite fighter of all time?
My favorite fighter of all time, Robbie Lawler.
Robbie Lawler, good choice. What's the favorite fight of all time you've watched?
Favorite fighter I watch of all time? The fight I watch of all time is the one Robbie and Frank Tree.
Okay, I wasn't thinking about that one. I thought you were about to say Robbie and Rory. That was a banger too. At any weight, what's your dream matchup?
I want Rafael Lovato again at 185.
Okay. At your weight class specifically, would that also be your matchup?
Yes.
Both? Okay.
Yes.
Stand up or ground game?
Stand up.
Stand up, okay. What's the hardest thing for you about cutting weight?
The hardest thing for me about cutting weight, I guess, of course, cutting off foods, of course, cutting off my foods, maybe I had to cut my calories because I do the shit the right way. It's easy. I can't call cutting weight hard. It sucks, but it's nothing hard about it.
Have you ever had a complication with a weight cut?
No, just with the sauna.
Gotcha. I know that you're a country boy, so food is definitely a big thing for you. What's the hardest food for you to give up when you're trying to get to that point?
Oh man, carbs.
Carbs, okay. Anything in specific?
My biggest thing is what I gotta give up is usually anything Pacific. So I eat the same thing. Anything Pacific is what I gotta cut out my sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes, okay. I love sweet potatoes. I'd have a hard time cutting that out of my diet. Who's your favorite guy that you've sparred with or rolled with?
Man, my favorite person to spawn with, I gotta say my man Yusuf.
Got a shout out to Yusuf.
For real.
Nice.
He's fun to spar with, man.
I'm sure he has a lot of energy. I could only imagine.
All over the place.
That's awesome. Who's the most? If you had to say, the most famous person, I know you mentioned some of the names of, Matt Hughes and so on and so forth. Who would be, if you had to say, on the Mount Rushmore of MMA, who's the most famous guy that you've worked with?
Oh, man. The most famous is, I would say, work with his Mayweather dad, I would guess.
Okay. Floyd Mayweather Sr.?
Yes.
Nice. Out there at the Mayweather Boxing Club, or?
Yeah, I went out there to visit a little brother named Liddell Rose, and then he was here in Oklahoma City.
Okay, nice. So with with that being said, what would you say? What's the best part of all of it for you in terms of your journey? Is it the teaching aspect? Is it the fact that you've been able to compete and excel on the highest level? What do you say at the end of the day your biggest take home is that's made this absolutely your journey?
The teaching and helping others.
The teaching and helping others.
Yeah.
I kind of gathered that just based off of what you had been saying earlier. I feel like everybody has their own end of the day kind of I'll put that feather in my cap type of thing. For some people it is the the individual accolades, but for others it's a lot more selfless. So that's pretty honorable, man.
Thank you.
So just for the people out there listening, so we can kind of tie some things back together here. Where can they follow you at online?
So you can follow me online at Crazy Cowboy MMA on Instagram, and then also at Crazy Cowboy MMA is my Twitter as well. And then just my fan page is Cortez Crazy Cowboy Coleman. You can follow me on there all day long, and then my gym at Conquer BJJ Mixed Martial Art Academy. You can find my Facebook page online with that. And then, like I said, you can Google Cortez Coleman, and I'm going to be the first thing pop up.
Yep, definitely. I can attest to that. Did the search myself. So for everybody out there that is listening, make sure that you give the Crazy Cowboy a follow. If you're in the Oklahoma area and you're looking to start into martial arts or looking for a new camp to train at, make sure you give my man a look and head over to a spot over there at Concord. I know he's definitely got some good things going on over there and is able to practice what he preaches. So that's a big part of it for me, being able to walk the talk.
Yes, sir. Every day, all day.
So as we kind of tie this up here, boss, what's maybe some final words to part ways with the audience, or a last thought that you might want to share?
And I just like to tell anybody that's listening, man, no matter what you're going through, no matter where you're from, no matter what kind of situation you're going through, man, if you're listening to this, man, that means you got air and you got another day to be better, man. Surround yourself with good people, man. No matter what you're going through, if it's depression, no matter what it is, man, find new people and get yourself around those new people, and just know that it's all a thought, all right? Anybody can change, and we can create the lifestyle we want. Just talk to someone also, man, if you're down and someone going through their, hey, there's all type of hotlines out there you can call, reach out to somebody, and just know, man, we all have hard times, but it's up to you to make it better, man. And just to everyone out there listening to the fans, man, just know that, hey, every day you wake up is a new day. Smile and know that you're loved by someone, and just thank all the MMA fans for tuning in, all the MMA fans who continue to support MMA, and because without fans, there wouldn't be a sport. And sometimes I feel like a lot of people don't realize, it's the fans who make us. And without you guys, there wouldn't be a Crazy Cowboy. There wouldn't be a Conor McGregor. There wouldn't be anything without the fans. So the fans is the ones that I want to say thank you to, the ones that don't even like me, and to the ones that do. They're all very appreciated, man. So I just want to say thank you to the fans, and then, of course, to my sponsors. They all know who they are, from Jaguar to Ada Nissan, to my boy Dr. Remes, all my coaches, all my friends, everyone who's followed me and support me. Just know that I'm very thankful. Each day I wake, I'm thankful for you all.
Beautiful message right there, boss. So everybody out there listening, that's the Crazy Cowboy, Cortez Coleman. Make sure that you guys give him the look and share all the love that you possibly can out there. This is the Comments from the Peanut Gallery. I'm your coach, Jordan Kurtz. I am also making sure that I'm throwing shout-outs for Jordan Tony, as you mentioned earlier. He'll be fighting on Cinco de Mayo. There's also going to be Yusuf Zalal out there fighting in the LFA card. You can watch that on Access TV. So that's going to be a killer card on May 4th. Shout out to everybody out there doing their business. I also have a new partnership for the show itself that I want to shout out real quick. That is to the Lone Wolf Beard Company, Colorado's premium all-natural beard products. So thank you guys all out there for the support and the love. Thank you, Cortez, for coming on the show. I definitely appreciate you taking the time out of your day. It's definitely a blessing for me to have people that are willing to work with me on this side of things.
Oh, for sure. Also, big shout out to my boy Ian Heinisch. He's going to get ready to be the new LFA champ.
That's true. Shout out to Factory X.
Factory X. You know what I mean? Mark Montoya. #1 coach in the game.
That's awesome. So on the outro for you guys out there listening, we're going to play Not So Quiet Storm from Beyond Bridges, the Colorado rock reggae bass group. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen.
Tall. The poor boy sits at home just waiting for her call. And the clock strikes midnight, and the telephone so slow. And when you go, I feel so alone. And when you go, the world moves so slow. But when you go, I feel so alone. Down, his headlights blazing as he heads towards her town. And the street lights faded, and the air was so cold. Her house up on the hill was now a pile of stone. And he hears no voices as he walks all around the house where she once lived that had fallen to the ground. And he finds a letter, and he reads it aloud. He can only think of her as he crumbles to the ground. And when you go, the world moves so slow. When you go, I feel so alone.